welcome to the Obscured State podcast with me, Kyle Aris. We are sponsored by absolutely nobody. Nobody. So, no ads, which is great, right? Actually, I listen to a lot of podcasts, and I've actually found some good stuff on the ads that they advertise on the podcast. So, actually, one I was listening to actually asks you for information on what you like while you're listening to their podcast to give you stuff that's relevant, and they ask for it, which is nice. So, kind of making this podcast today by myself, which is weird. I'm looking at a camera. I'm normally looking at another person, another human being across from me, and having conversation, kickback, and everything. But it's just me. It's me today. And that's kind of what this is about. As you may know or may not know, maybe you have been watching just the podcast, or maybe you were watching the channel and then realized we did have a podcast. This channel kind of started, which if you've heard the podcast, you probably already heard this, so I'll make it short, but podcast started with me and Eric going out to explore abandoned buildings, kind of a urban exploring thing. And we decided to make a channel, release the videos on there as like a season type thing, the whole 9 yards. And then about maybe 3 or 4 episodes in, I said we should make a podcast out of this, and we're kind of on board. So we made our introduction podcast that you can find, and then we had Ruin Road come on our second podcast, which was awesome. Those guys are killer in the urban exploring. They've been tons of places. They got lots of subscribers on YouTube. They're doing their thing. They release books, and we are able to have them come on and shed some light on their experiences. And then Eric went on vacation. He went out west, kind of a one last hurrah before he was going back to work, because everybody's been off of work for the COVID. And that was cool. I was like, all right, cool, go live it up. He said he might be gone a couple weeks, and that was September 26th, and I haven't heard from him since. It's, the 5th of November now. It's, I don't know what to say. Just haven't heard from him. Tried contacting him, tried everything, tried contacting people that he knows, and, nobody responds. So I'm just kind of left at odds here, that I'm not sure what to do. And I've referenced to Eric so many times on the podcast that I kind of feel like a idiot now. So got to come out and clarify some things, basically. Yeah, I'm guessing that Eric is done. He doesn't want to do this no more. So that's cool. And, that's fine. If he doesn't want to do it no more, that's cool. I'm used to doing a lot of things kind of solo anyways. Which is kind of what the podcast has been up to this point, pretty much doing it solo now, which involves editing all the videos, audio and everything. So it takes me a little while to get them out, but we try to keep things, I try to keep things more of like, not to dwell on necessarily current events all the time. So this shouldn't be like dated material when the podcasts come out. But yeah, that's kind of the big news is Eric is, I guess, done or out of Obscured State, which, okay. So I wish I could elaborate more on it, really, but I haven't talked to him. I basically, I guess you could say I've been ghosted. Which never really been ghosted. I don't know if you've been ghosted before. Maybe it was by probably more like a significant other or something to be ghosted by, or a friend, I guess. Elaborate a little more on how me and Eric did meet. Probably already know, but we met through a mutual friend, Scotty, who you will be seeing on the podcast. Actually, it was supposed to come out this week, but we'll get into that. So I met him through Scotty, and he came to film, take pictures of the band I was in, and that's how we met. Didn't really hang out much after that. Seemed like we had a lot in common. We followed each other on Facebook and stuff, and just to keep a long story short, we had a lot in common. Decided to go out and film a location because it was something that we both wanted to do. Worked well together. Went to more. Decided to make the channel. That's kind of how we became friends. I considered him a friend at that point. Doing everything we were doing. Maybe he didn't. Wish I could tell you. Don't know. So, but I look at it as it being in a band, local bands, like if there was a member in your band and it's been in a band at least 3 weeks, 4 weeks with no contact, I guess you're done. That's the way I look at it. You just left the band. You didn't want to tell them, whatever. You didn't want to say your reasoning. You felt bad, whatever. So you just don't show up again. And yeah, then you're out. So that's kind of how this is going. I can't keep saying he's going to come back around in a podcast or when Eric gets back or whatever. And I have no contact. So, but if you see me looking down here, I have to take notes of topics that I want to talk about, or else I'm going to forget. So, but the good news is that I am going to bring another member onto Obscured State because I can't do it all by myself. Editing the videos for the channel, the Urbex videos, it takes some time. It takes quite a bit of time to go through and edit those and to get them good, because I want them to be good. I want them to be something that you want to watch and keep you entertained. So that takes some time, and these podcasts take a lot of time to edit. If there's somebody listening that can shed some light on a quicker way to edit them, or a program that is relatively cost effective. I've seen some programs for switching cameras automatically, and right now I get the luxury today of the nice camera. Most of the time I use that for my guests, and then I use my phone. I don't know if any of that works for that stuff. We're doing low budget here, as low budget as I can. Thankfully I've been a musician and I've acquired a lot of this stuff. So then I really just needed the camera for the channel, but so it takes a lot of time to edit, and then I have to pick and choose which one I'm going to work on, and then I got to stick to it. And I got a family. I got 2 kids. I got a wife. I can't sit in the basement all day, every day. So you get the picture. It just takes a lot of time. So I need some help. And so I'm going to be bringing on my buddy Rich, and he's going to be on the podcast as well. He's going to be, if you watch Joe Rogan, he's going to kind of be like the Jamie of the show, which is going to be awesome. He's going to help keep track of the cameras, so we don't have a camera die, and he's going to keep track of the audio. He's going to be our fact checker, so let us know if we're, talking shit or talking facts, I guess. Whatever a fact is nowadays. And we got some other ideas for him implemented in the podcast, and he's also going to come out and help me shoot locations. So, fun stuff. It's exciting for me. I know I've been friends with Rich pretty much. It's been a while since I moved to Holland, at least. I moved to Holland in 2015, bought this house in 2016, and I think that's when we met. So it's been about 4 years now, going on 5 years. We've been friends, so I know that we can work together, and I know that he really wants to do this. So that all helps with getting the ball rolling. I know he wants to do it. I know we can work together. So he's going to be helping me with editing out the podcast. See, that's what I meant earlier by a better way of doing this. Right now, I'm literally watching and listening and then just clip when I'm not talking or they're not talking, and then I wait, and once they start talking, I clip it again. Got a phone call here from a stupid telemarketer. They're still calling after the election, but they're still calling. But literally like clipping them and watching the whole thing and then deleting, and that just takes forever. You got a 2.5 hour podcast, like that's gonna take some time to go through and, you know, mark certain things, and there's lots of shit that goes into it. So he's gonna be helping with that, so I can focus more on getting these videos ready for the channel with the Urbex, because honestly, I mean, I've had a passion for both, wanting to do a podcast and wanting to explore abandoned buildings and film and put that out there. And, you know, the podcast is really taken off, which is awesome. Got a lot more videos in the Urbex channel, that's for sure. And it's like, it's kind of a catch-22, because it's like, this is great that the podcast is taking off because I love doing this. This is what I really want to do. But there's a lot of time and effort that goes into those other videos, and like, and they're really, I think they're really good. So, I mean, that's up for debate, but let's give those some love. So if you're watching this, maybe check out some of those videos too that are on the channel. So he is definitely going to help speed things up with getting content out on time when I say I'm going to, and just make the whole process smoother. So, but first we need to update his laptop, because, you know, video editing, your computer's got to be like on steroids, or it's just going to crash and it's just going to run slow. Like, I've been through a few computers, but when I first started, I had an ancient computer that looked like literally from when I was 8 years old, but somebody beefed it up to where I could run my audio box and my Studio One, and it worked flawlessly, which it wouldn't even work on my laptop, which my laptop was, my laptop at that time was only like a couple of years old, and I couldn't run it. It was, the latency and everything was really bad. And then I updated to, well, I got for my brother-in-law, he lent me one of his older computers, and it worked for a little bit, but so I bought one from Best Buy. First mistake, and it's working, but it could definitely be faster, but it's at least working now to where it makes it more feasible to do it. So, you know, hope for next week to get a podcast, probably 2 of them if we can get 2 of them going. I'm gonna hook up that last computer I referenced to and see if that works for Rich, to try to at least just clip out videos. So we're going to shoot for next week for 1 for sure. Try to get 2 of them out that I have. I got a couple built up, doing another podcast this weekend with another great guest. Yeah, a lot of musicians on, a lot right now. That's, again, my background is being a musician in the local scene here. Met a lot of people, and a lot of good people, people that have a lot of interesting things to say, not just related to music. And that's what I'm looking for in this podcast mostly, is just interesting conversation. You know, you don't get that all the time, especially when you got kids and you're, you know, maybe you and your wife or your girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever get maybe an hour or 2, not even a day, for adult conversation. Like, how much do you get? You don't get very much. By the end of the day, you're whipped. You want to go to bed anyway. So, just instead of carving out time now for me, for the longest time it's been just music. Now I'm carving out time for conversation. It's really nice. It's satisfaction. That was dumb. Anyways, so yeah, the podcast will be coming out. They're not going to be too terribly like, wow, when did you film this? I mean, I was listening to a podcast today, literally with Rob Lowe, which is really funny. He brings up a lot of guests on from like SNL and stuff. And I never thought of him. I mean, I never realized how many comedies he actually was in, which is it's neat because I always thought of him as like more of I don't know, the good-looking guy, which he always has been, but the good-looking guy actor, takes those roles. But yeah, it's a really good one. But he just released one today that they did in March, so I'm not that far behind, guys. So we'll be good. And again, that kind of goes into my story a little bit as a musician. I've been playing drums since middle school. Middle school wasn't that serious, but then I got into a band, and I was a freshman, I think. Played in a band, this little basement band. There was a few of those basement bands with MySpace pages and stuff. First serious band was Stereotype with Jordan Delgado. And we played a few good shows with that. Lots of good shows. And then Death Abides, the most recent one on this side of the state. Stereotype was on the east side of Michigan, Bay City. Death Abides was over on West Michigan, out of Holland. So that's kind of my background as far as music. As far as what bands I've been in and how long I've been playing. But that's kind of why you're seeing a lot of musicians at first now, and I'm working on trying to get some other various guests on the show. Comedians, paranormal investigators is what I'd love to get on here. Some more urbex groups. Just a wide variety of people with something interesting to say and interesting to talk about. Can keep a conversation. That's the most important thing about a podcast. Is a lot of people listen to the audio. You gotta keep the conversation going. So yeah, that was kind of the biggest things or biggest updates about what's going on with Obscured State and just the state of things right now, because things have been hairy lately and videos not released on time when I'd like to. But, really, I mean, who's really watching them? Like I just said, more people's watching this anyways. So what am I stressed about? Oh, because I put these dates out there and, that's something I strive to get to. I'm one of those people that if I tell you I'm going to do something, I'm going to make damn sure it's done. And whether that's at work or whether that's my own personal goals or personal things that I set up, like this, like I'm going to have a video every Friday at 7 p.m. Like I'm expecting to do that. When I don't do that, it puts a lot of stress on myself. So that's why I'm making this podcast also to you guys so I can explain a little bit more of what's going on. Right? All right. So, hopefully all the election talk can be done and stop flooding my fucking timeline full of bullshit. I'm absolutely sick and tired of it. If Biden wins, looks like he's going to, kudos. I didn't vote for either Biden or Trump. I voted for Trump in 2016 because why not? Right? Like, why not? Donald Trump, guy on The Apprentice, you're fired. Why not, right? Give him a shot. Oh, it failed. Didn't work. Did not work. I'm sorry, even if he did pass some things that were good or worked out or whatever, just the guy being in there, it's just not working. Sometimes just the presence of you ever just not want to go somewhere, or you walk into a room. Let's just say you walk into a room and there's somebody in there that you just don't like. Just the mere presence of them in that room just fucking irks you. Just makes your spine tingle. That's kind of like what Donald Trump was for like America, and made like America's spine tingle. Like, you got to get him out of there. That's just, you have to. I mean, even if he's passing some stuff that you like it's just you got to get him out of there. You have to. It almost would have been better for Republicans to just had him impeached or something, and been able to have another. I don't know exactly how it works, but being able to have another candidate from your Republican side run. I mean, maybe you'd still have the presidency then, honestly, because Biden was not the most attractive candidate. I mean, neither of them were, but so. I mean, that's the way I look at it. Like I voted for him in 2016, like I said, and I was hoping, but I'm a realist. I'm not one of those delusional people that just can't seem to understand like just basic things, logic. Just he ain't gonna. He's a square peg trying to go in a round hole, man. Like he's just he was just trying to force everything, and you can't do that. And I mean, I gotta say, this is what you need to be worried about with a Biden if you were a Trump supporter or anybody really in general. I'd just be worried about the foreign policy and stuff, just because last time he was there with Barack, I mean, they just did the apologies tours and just said sorry to everybody, and I don't believe in just being sorry. Like, just either do like what Joe Jorgensen was saying and just be neutral and just pull out and just be like, we ain't talking to fucking nobody unless you want to talk to us. Other than that, we're fucking neutral. Or you got to be rigid. I don't think there's really any in between there. Personally, like with these other countries. Unfortunately, China pretty much owns us, so you kind of got to bend over and just take it, I guess, because with the debt, I don't know, man. I'm not a politician. I never dove into politics. I'm just kind of like the average guy. What are they thinking type of deal. Those are my thoughts on that, and it was crazy how long Texas was blue, because like if that ain't a red state, like what the fuck? That was pretty crazy. That's also the cool thing about when you vote third party. Like, I knew they weren't gonna win, but I just get to sit there and like eat popcorn and like just have a good time now, because fuck it. Like I voted for my person. They're not gonna win, so whatever. You guys can have fun. But I do have a right to bitch now because I did vote. If you don't vote, then you don't have a right to bitch. Like, that's what I don't get about. I'm not gonna vote for either one. Well, there's plenty of other people. There's like American Party. Like, you could have voted for that. You could have wrote in Kanye West. I don't. You could have. You could have wrote in your mom. Like, just go vote, I guess. Really. Then you can bitch. Be like, well, if my fucking mom was in office, this shit wouldn't be happening. And there you go. There you go. So I was called a stupid idiot this morning at work. That was pretty fun. I mean, I don't know why you want to fuck with me while I'm trying to clean your bathroom. But so I was cleaning the bathroom, and it was cause I'm a janitor, which I said before. And I was cleaning this bathroom, and it was right by the end of near the end of their shift. This was third shift getting up, and this place has 5 sets of bathrooms. 2 of them in the offices, and then you have 2 along this front hallway, which is I was at one end. And the hallway is not that long, like not even like maybe a minute to walk to the other end. And then there's one out in shipping. So I was cleaning that one, and he wanted to use it, but I told him no. I already have everything sprayed down. Because when I clean a restroom, I walk in and I kind of spray the urinals and toilets and sink and everything down. So it has time to cleaner has time to work at it, because people don't understand that part of cleaning is, you got to give the cleaner time to clean the fucking surface a little bit. People think, well, it's just all manual cleaning. But if you let the cleaner sit on there for a little bit and eat at that shit, you do it with other things. You do it with trying to get grease off at home. I'm sure you've I'll just let it sit on there. Maybe it'll eat it. But when it comes down to wiping stuff down, people don't understand that. But anyways, I told him, no, you can't come in here. I got everything sprayed down and everything. I'm not having you piss all over it. And he's like, man, you're fucking stupid. I gotta drive 45 minutes to go home? You fucking idiot. So fucking stupid to be cleaning the bathroom when I'm about to get out of work. Yeah. Shit. I was like, dude, I didn't know what to say at first, because I'm like, where the fuck is this coming from? And I like my job, so I mean, if this is anywhere else, I'd be going off at the moment. So he was walking away, and he's still going off because he couldn't use the bathroom. And I was just like, whatever, dude. There is another restroom down the hall. Go use that one. I'm sorry that you couldn't go and sit on the toilet and burn your last 10 minutes of your day on your phone. I mean, let's be honest. That's probably what was going to happen. Yeah. That was a good start to my day today. It was pretty cool. I mean, not like me as a cleaner haven't dealt with way worse things. That's way worse. People walking on my wax job over 3 layers of caution tape, and then I have to fucking redo it, and they don't give a fuck, and they just tell me to fuck off because I shouldn't have closed the area. Yeah. That was a fun night. That was really fun. This fucking asshole, man. They're assholes everywhere, dude. You just gotta try to work your way around them, I guess, really. But yeah, there's been so many instances. Being a cleaner, janitor, floor care tech, mostly in the floor care part of it is where a lot of that's happened. Because I don't know what it is. I mean, I've worked in some factories before, right? And I hated them, and that's why I started being a janitor, because I'm like, there's way more freedom in this job. Plus, I like cleaning. But yeah, it's this weird mentality about when something's closed down in a factory, people fucking freak out. They're like, no, this is not how it is. Every other fucking day, I can walk in here and I can smack this wall, because people do that all the time in factories too. They're walking around the corner, smack. Walk around the next corner, smack. Come across a tin can, smack. Something with smacking walls, smacking bins, and something in factories too. They just walk around and just smack shit. I don't get it. I see them. Janitors see a lot of shit. Because we're everywhere. We're all the time. everywhere, all the time. And they like to smack shit. But yeah, they fucking, it's like it throws their whole brain off that they can't go in a certain area. They can't go in a certain side of the break room to sit at the seat that they always sit at every day. And it just fucking blows their mind that when I tell them, no, you can't go over there, it's like people in masks and you're violating my fucking rights and all this other shit. Like, it's like they turn into this fucking Hulk. Like, no, I'd sit there every day. I'm going to sit there. Or I'm going to walk this way over here because that's the way I always walk. No, I'm not going to take that other hallway. No, I'm not going to take the way that you deliberately set up so we wouldn't walk on it, because I'm going to walk this way because I walk this way every fucking day. Yeah, that's I don't get it, man. I really don't get it. But I ain't gonna take up any more of you guys' time. Just be on the lookout for Rich and the podcast coming out. We're gonna have a few more now where it's just solo, but because we're a little behind, as I stated. But we got some good podcasts coming out, and then Rich will be joining the team. So look out for those. If you haven't yet, go to the Obscured State page on YouTube and check out some of the Urbex videos we did in the past podcasts. But we need to get them views up on the Urbex stuff because I put a lot of time into that too. And I watch them and I still like them, and I've already been there and know everything. So, I mean, but you can also help me out too if you see something like, hey, if you did this, I think it would make it better. Like, message me that for constructive criticism. You want to be a dick, you can just go fuck yourself. I mean, honestly. Shit. Yeah, and don't burn down the country when the results finally do come through. I think that's fucking stupid. Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I probably said a lot. I'm just noticing. But like I said, this is fucking weird being only me in the room. And my wife's probably out there somewhere listening to me like, this guy's really in here talking to a fucking camera. Like there's somebody there right now. It's kind of nice though. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe I'll do it more. I don't know. I'll also get some more topics and I'll put it down on my little phone, but here, a little phone notebook thing. And we'll get it going. So be on the lookout for Rich. Be on the lookout for a new podcast next week. And keep watching, keep following. And be nice, be kind, be the best you can be. Motherfuckers.